Okay, I think we're going. Here we go. I think we're going.
Okay,
Look.
here we go.
We're in the Terminator game. Look at us in the Terminator game. Don't shoot us! No! I like it. All right, I'm gonna go and double check that we're streaming. That we're actually streaming.
Okay. Hello, friends. Welcome to another live stream about nothing at 7's Pinballorama. If it's your first time joining us, we are Canada's largest pinball arcade, not largest arcade, but largest classic pinball arcade, with about 40 machines, pinball machines in here now, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 video arcades. So we've got a lot of machines, and we do live streams about nothing. 7's going to go rescue somebody right now. You're going to hear him.
All right,
telling
on this old one, you hit the start button on the front, and then
he's explaining how to play Pinballorama.
5 balls per game, and then push that in to lift the ball up every time. 64, up till about 64 they did that, and about 65 they started doing the auto eject one. So cool.
Copyrighted. Yeah, so we do live streams about nothing. 7 makes other videos if you haven't seen them before. He fixes the machines and makes them all better.
Could be a little bit bigger.
Oh my gosh.
There, that's a little better. That's a little better, right there. Makes it a little bit bigger. We have to, when someone goes over and plays the game and starts shooting at it, we're gonna have to be like, ow, ow, ow.
Oh my god. That would be pretty funny. We've had a very busy day. For whatever reason, we had a couple folks in early today, and then everyone decided to come in almost all at the same time. We had a birthday party with 15 kids and 2 adults come in.
Oh,
and
no.
they were like, how old was he turning? They were twins turning 7 or 8.
Yeah, like 7 years old, I think.
And they invited everyone from the class. There's 17 kids in the class, and 15 of them came. Hello, Brett Anderson. Thanks for joining a live stream. It's a live stream about nothing, but we talk about everything.
We talk about nothing. We talk about pinball. Sometimes we talk about video. Sometimes we talk about stupid shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, so
welcome to the live stream.
Right? These kids came in, and then everyone else did, and we had like another 10 people come in at the same time. We had like 26 people in here all at once, and these kids running around and screaming, and everyone took it in stride, and they had a great time. It's so interesting having people come in, especially when there's like a horde of small children, and there's a whole bunch of new people came in, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And returning people, and a few people slipped in after all the screaming horde left. And which was perfect, because they're like, oh good, not really into loud stuff. So yeah.
That couple that was in here, the young couple that was in here right when you left to go to the store, they were having a blast in here. They're playing each other and kind of competing and stuff.
Yeah. They'd never. So there was one couple that came in that had never even played pinball before. So I showed them real quick how to play, and then I had to head out to run some errands.
Yeah, but they were having a good time, and then he was really like into like the technical side of it. So I cracked open the shooter game, the old EM shooter, to show him how it works. And he was like, oh my god! And then they were playing Roadshow, and it got stuck in the scoop, wouldn't come out.
Scoop, yeah.
And so I pulled that all apart and showed them the inside of it and stuff as I was trying to figure out why it was not ejecting.
It does that. I mean, it does it every once in a while. It's not.
So it's better now. The whole contraption that vertical up kicker is in, it was actually had come loose.
Oh.
So I tightened that down. It was a little bit better,
today?
but just today. Oh. But it was still like every
couple plays.
Fourth or fifth ball, it wouldn't eject it again. So he actually said maybe there's something in there that is causing it to not do whatever. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing in there. But then I reached in and put my finger in there, and the metal of that scoop, it had like what felt like old wax and all kinds of. So I got in there, I cleaned it all out with some naphtha and some other stuff. I think it was just causing enough resistance.
Yeah.
Now it pops. It only does a double pop out like every 20th shot now. So it's better. It's not perfect, but it's better.
Anyways, Brett, we just went on a tangent, like we said. Streams about nothing, streams about everything. Where are you from, Brett Anderson? Tell us how you stumbled across Seven's channel with all the pinball stuff. Let's see what else is going on. What's new? We're still I've been away, as some people know, for 2 months, over 2 months, and Seven was managing everything here on his own. Pennsylvania.
That's not too far from us.
No. And they
just down the street.
Yeah. And that's the East Coast, right? East Coast is where they have the most pinball machines. I bet you got some pretty good pinball out there. Anyway, so we're still working on a couple machines in here. Seven hasn't had a chance to tackle. We've actually been talking quite a lot about Starship Troopers because it's the only Sega game we have, right?
It's the only one we have in here right now.
Yeah, of that era. And so we don't have any other boards we can use to test whatever the issue is. We think something has gone wrong with the board because it's been such a solid machine, but we don't have any other boards to test. So Seven's working on tracking down another board and potentially getting that one repaired. Well, because it's such a favorite machine, so we'll get that one fixed before our big summer rush. And someone came in yesterday and they were asking about it, and I explained it's just kind of not very common. We don't have another board. No one has made aftermarket boards like they have for a lot of other machines.
And I'm completely stumped on what the problem is. It's just, well, it's got some, I think, a couple of the control chips on that board have issues or something. It's got numerous problems, which tells me that it's not just like a couple of transistors or something. It's what's controlling everything else is not dead. So.
Yeah, and if that's the same, that game has had a lot of love over the years, and if it's the same board that's been there forever. Anyway, so we'll work on getting that one done before our rush. But someone came in yesterday and they're like, "Oh, don't take it out. Make sure you get it fixed, and I'll be back again." And you know, everyone is really understanding when we have little hiccups like that. But like we were talking about last week, and we posted today the DMD. You know, we had the DMDs go out, and Seven ordered some new ones. So we put in some colorful ones. So things go out, we work on them, get them all fixed up, and running better than ever.
Brett says, I'm a collector and pinball video game player. Awesome. And there's Spike. Hiya, Spike.
East Coast does have some great pinball. Hello, Spike. I would love to do a pinball, East Coast pinball tour. We've wanted to go down to Allentown show in Pennsylvania. But things have just not lined up the last couple of years because we've been so busy. And I've been away, and I'm hoping I have to go work in DC again in September and October. I should only be on for a month this time.
We missed Allentown. I just looked. It's in early May.
Yeah. So, but like next year maybe we can plan. That's if we're not in the middle of moving or something. We never know what's going to happen. There's always.
We were going to try and do Allentown this year. But
but unfortunately my life exploded.
Yeah. Next year.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I mean, One other thing we were thinking about doing, because I have to go back out to BC in September and October, is fly 7 out. We've been thinking about buying another van, and it's it would be, what is it? They get really rusty out here, so we were thinking of buying one in BC and driving back across Canada again. We could do a pinball adventure and stop everywhere. Do it that way. Coast to coast.
Yeah, we could stop at a few locations. When we drove over here from BC, we came from BC and we drove over. We drove across, and it was a fun trip. But we had animals with us, and we were kind of rushed. And plus, we were moving everything. Wasn't really.
We had a bowler attached to us too. Yeah.
Wasn't a relaxing episode, but it was fun. But if we go over at the end of the year, buy a van, drive it across country, we can kind of take a couple of weeks, take our time, actually stop and see some stuff, and enjoy ourselves. So it was when we plowed through. It was 11 days.
Yeah.
We drove for 7 to 8 hours a day, depending.
And when he says
I was the only one driving.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to push it, and we didn't want to roll up to some places too late. Because we had because we had the cats with us and stuff.
Go shopping, do laundry, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so it was 11 days without driving too much and without taking any days. Like the only place that we stopped and goofed around in was in Drumheller.
Yeah, and
just to see some dinosaur crap. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We could pull up those photos. They're actually pretty fun.
I don't have, you know what? I need to have a way that I can bring up photos on this.
Let me see if I can find some. Yeah, Drumheller was fun because, we like, dinosaurs are fun, Who doesn't like dinosaurs? And yeah, that was about it. And we had fun. We camped across, essentially. We bought a bowler for the trip. We bought a van to haul the bowler. And we camped across the whole way.
Spike says he used to do air shift at WMUH in Allentown. New wave stuff. So, like, doing like a DJ shift? Is that what you're talking about?
DJ. Where is it? I'm sure there's a photo of us with dinosaurs. There's so many photos.
Brett says, moved my family from Arizona to Pennsylvania. That was brutal. That's probably about the same distance drive, really.
Yeah, I would say that's
Somewhere
probably pretty similar. That's amazing. There we go. How is it not here? I'm trying to find a dinosaur photo of us and I can't find one. This is so upsetting. I have too many photos of us. That's not true. Can't have too many photos of us.
That is too bright. I'm going to fix this. Which one is that? That's
Whoa.
this one. All right. Let's fix that.
That is very bright.
It really is. We're not rewarded.
Uploads.
Now it's too contrasty. That's a little better. That's a little better.
Ooh, I think I'm hitting play.
Spike says, I played all the difficult listening records. What does that mean? Brett says, what's your favorite games in your current lineup and what games do you want to add next? So we were talking recently actually about next games. So the last one we added I look at games two ways. I have ones that I stumble on and get, and then I have ones that I want to buy that's a little bit more of an effort to get kind of thing. So whether it's new or it's a little bit hard to find. So Big Lebowski was the last one that we bought. That was our sort of big purchase of the year kind of thing. We want to do at least one of those a year. Something to keep our profit down so we don't pay as much tax. Really is what it is. So we were talking about that. We were thinking we've had pretty good luck with the American pinball ones. They've pretty much run consistently. They don't have really very many problems. I'm sort of drawn to Galactic Tank Force, but I have heard some kind of not so great things about it. I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it. The not so great things seem to come from some like hardcore pinhead people who just probably don't like it because of the theme. Like they approach it and say, I hate this from the get-go. So
people that don't like original themes, they prefer the licensed themes.
That's a possibility, but one of the ones that we've talked about for a long time, and it's still an expensive buy, but is the Jersey Jack's Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And I think it would do really well in here because probably 80% of our clientele are not hardcore pinball people, they're casual players. And I think that's a good game for casual players.
And it's very inviting. There's games that we've played before that are just not as inviting. Like we did a fair, one of our first places where we tested the model of whether or not an arcade would work. And a friend of ours had some new machines, and he had a brand new Ghostbusters machine at the time. And people walked away, new players walked away from that game all the time. But we had players stick around and play Volley over and over again. They played Break Shot, they played roller games, they played Royal Rumble. But the new ones, they had a Mustang, I think it was, Ghostbusters, and like one other new one. And it's just it was too much, too complicated, but Wizard of Oz.
They didn't know what they were supposed to be shooting for.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz is simple, it's got great light show. I mean, it can be complicated, but it doesn't feel overwhelming.
And Wizard of Oz is kind of cool because you can make things happen without knowing what you're shooting for. So you can just randomly hit stuff and stuff happens. And that's what, for casual players, that keeps them engaged and stuff.
And like that's one of the things that we both love about Hot Wheels is you could be a big pinball person, or you could be a casual player, but it has so many different modes, so many different things. You could do the RPMs, you could do the battles, you could do the loops. So looking for a game like that will be inviting to people. And Big Lebowski, even though it's got so much going on in it, everyone loves this game.
Yeah.
Like, because there's all these things you can shoot for.
I haven't had someone walk away from Big Lebowski going, meh, it's all right.
No.
Everybody walks away going, this thing is fantastic.
Yeah, it's been really well received.
Yeah, Brett says a lot of rules in new games that can be intimidating, and that's exactly it. When we have new players that come in, I like to show them on something like Speakeasy or Royal Flush, and older games that just have really straightforward things to shoot at. Like Royal Flush has a big bank of drop targets, and that's a great thing for new players because you can just say, all you got to do is hit down all of these. It's like, how hard can it be, right?
Right.
And then they know what they're supposed to be doing. Whereas they walk up to even Hot Wheels or Valhalla or Big Lebowski, they don't know that when the color of the thing changes, they're supposed to be shooting at that thing, right?
Yeah.
All these targets turn red. Shoot for the red things. They don't understand. That's not clear to them yet. I think Wizard of Oz would be a really good one for in here. I even kind of like Dialed In. I think that might be a good one.
I wouldn't mind getting that newer, if we found one cheap, that Star Trek that we played quite a few times.
Yeah, the older Stern Star Trek from
the older new
a few
Star
years
Trek.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. Brett says, I feel like Elton John is a good game for everyone. That's here's the problem though, is that we also have a lot of people, they don't know who the hell Elton John is. Like if we got a Rush game or a Led Zeppelin game and stuff, we got a lot of customers that come in here, they don't know who those, like they don't know that music. That's one of the problems with music pins, is that they're really dated.
Also, we both kind of have an issue. So people come in all the time and ask, doesn't it get annoying? Or doesn't the sound in the arcade bother you? And actually, no. Having all of the different sounds in the arcade doesn't bother me whatsoever. I could read my book with all of the sounds going on. What bothers me is when someone starts a game and walks away and it plays the same sounds over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So the thought of having a music pen that is only going to play the same 10-second clips from the same songs all the time, when I already have to listen to repetitive sounds, like people playing, not a problem, but repetitive sounds, cannot handle it.
When Aerosmith came out, my friend got one, and we went over and unboxed it, played around with it and stuff. And he's got a bunch of machines, and he has the lower level of his home arcade. It's a whole bunch of machines. He had Aerosmith up in the upper level, which was up there. He had the games that I liked. Like he had Sinbad, he had Joker Poker, some EM games. He had the Zaccaria Supersonic, which I now have. But he had Aerosmith up there, and so I'd be up there playing these older EM games and stuff, and they'd be playing Aerosmith, and just being up there for about a half an hour, like I didn't want to hear any Aerosmith songs after that. I can't even imagine what it would be like if I had that, like where Lebowski is, and I had to sit and listen to like little clips of the same Aerosmith songs over and over. I'd probably go mad.
Brett says, Brett's got a couple crying face smiley emojis, but we've got someone else joining the chat. Hi, Ian McDougall. Ian says Baywatch or Sopranos would be great.
I haven't played either of those.
I don't know if I've played. I might have played the Sopranos, or I've at least seen them at. We used to go down to the Tacoma show when we lived on the West Coast. So we'll have to find one and play one and try it out. Baywatch, I think, would probably just be really funny. It would be funny to have Baywatch beside Hardbody over there. Hardbody was our very first pinball, and we've got the glass that everybody says is awful, but I think...
We have the pinball machines that get voted for the worst back glass ever.
Right.
We have both a Hardbody and a Genesis with the original glass on them, and I love them.
Yeah, no, they're really great. We added a tiny little tint to there. It wasn't a very good hue on Genesis, so we added a little bit of a tinted, what did you call it, cellophane behind it to give it a bit more of a blue.
I added blue or yellow.
I think you added two blues.
Yeah, something to. It was sort of gross yellow.
Yeah.
The sepia tone had turned kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I must have added blue to it and gave it a little bit better tint. But
did Simon ever did he keep his Spring Fling? He had both the Gottliebs and
Spring Fever is the other one. He's kept that.
Yeah.
One of those came up for sale on that too. There's a Future Spa.
Don't we have one of those?
No.
Did you want one of those?
I want one of those.
What is that one like?
It's a big wide body from Bally.
But it's similar to something, isn't it? Like an Electra? I'm not quite sure. Ian just asked when you're going to upgrade the Royal Rumble screen.
Oh, I don't know.
For folks just joining us, as I mentioned, was away for 2.5 months. So Seven was running the place on his own, going and picking up machines, dropping machines off, fixing everything. And so usually what we try and do is balance it out so that I come in a couple days a week with him. I have another full-time job that I do, and I come into here and work from here. So that gives Seven time to work on machines and not be distracted by people coming up to the front. But that hasn't really happened. So this month we're also making sure both of us are taking time off. So Seven
time off is good.
Time
off is good.
Yeah. So Seven took the first week off. And then I started to take this week off, and unfortunately, Seven got sick. But then Seven's going to take next week off, and then I'll take the week off after that. And then come June, hopefully if we haven't gotten everything fixed by then, we'll start setting up times to make sure that Seven's got time to fix stuff. Anyways, I think we're behind on some chat.
Ian, is there, did you want to see how it's done? Do you want me to do a video on it? Is that why you're asking? Or should I do it on a live stream? Like I did the hurricane one?
Yeah, if you...
But, it'll probably be next week.
If you go to our live stream from last week, Ian, Seven actually did part of the swap on...
Can't really see what I'm doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, we can film it. We did I think the last week as well, we did the Big Lebowski on Friday night. And then we went and saw the... Man, it feels like so long ago. It was only last Friday that the Northern Lights.
Yes.
It was Friday, we did the Big Lebowski apron, filmed that, he did a video, the next night did the DMD display, and then now we're doing it. It's so much time.
So this is Future Spa.
Hello, friend.
Hi.
Do we have adult mode?
Yes.
It's weird asking you that. I just realized that.
Can we have a what?
Hey, can we have adult mode, please?
Ha 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 ha.
Adult mode? Adult mode, yeah. You gotta wait.
So, for folks who haven't played the Big Lebowski before, it has the PG mode and the R-rated mode, and Seven generally leaves it on the PG mode so that there's no actual swearing. It gets bleeped out or what have you. So Chris just came up and said, "Can we have Big Lebowski on the adult mode?" And Seven's got a sticky note to put on the Big Lebowski to remind himself and anyone else that our rated mode is on. So
there you
he's
go.
Put the sticky note on that says our rated mode is on.
All right. So this is Future Spa. Am I showing that on the screen? I'm showing that on the screen. This is Future Spa. And
what's special about it, other than being a wide body?
It's just a big wide body. It's fun. It's a fun game. And it's got, speaking of back glasses, it has this fabulous...
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember when Don was fixing this up. This was in our friend's shop for a while, and he was working on one, and this is horrifying.
The laser weightlifter guy here.
Well, no, what happened to this guy in the middle's neck?
I know, like his head, like both of their heads are like too big for their bodies.
But he's
missing a neck.
But the weird thing is, it's
I think
like
he broke it when he was
standing
like on the
behind
laser
her,
press.
so he should be high. Like the proportions are completely off.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
And then like this hot tub guy, like, hi, how's it going?
And her holding up the, I don't understand the, what do you call it?
I don't know. The whole thing's fantastic. That's what I know.
The whole thing is horrifying. What is this? Picture was taken at a frozen yogurt shop, I think, because it says soy something.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. This is some kind of something.
Yeah,
Some of these
I
pinball
love this
machines.
game. It's just such a fun thing. And I actually like that the back glass has this, like, in the logo, Future Spa, you can see through it, and then there's like a holographic thing to diffuse the lights behind it, which is kind of neat.
Who made this back glass? Come
It's fantastic.
All right.
Amazing.
Brett said, where's that
Dude's hand on the lower left as he stares at the lady. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, there's just so much weird about this game. He's like, "Hi, how are ya?" His hands are below the water.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that. And what is he like a train? What is he?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
like, is he part
like
train,
Thomas the Tank Engine, and he's doing laser lifts.
Right?
With like VR goggles on.
This
like, who knows what the hell it is, right?
Frightening.
Yeah, I love it. But the game itself is fun. I mean,
Okay.
it's sort of.
Is it like Genie?
It's kind of like Genie. It's kind of like roller disco. All of those. It's very floaty and it's a good game for people who don't play a lot of pinball.
Yeah.
But it's even if you play a lot of pinball, it's got enough going on it that it's fun.
That's just silly. He's up to something, says Brett. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, Rebecca's joined us. Hi, Rebecca.
Oh, there! I did it. Like I did it again. We were talking about it, and I didn't switch the camera over to what we were looking at.
Oh.
So let's go back, and let's
Okay.
laugh at this dude right here
Who's
in
under.
the tub
And so
with his hands underneath.
So
yeah.
this girl's got a little piece of thread covering her area.
Yep.
Breast is, nipples, and then it's turned into water.
Yep. Oh, I think she's doing some sort of a leg exercise here.
Ah,
I guess.
interesting, maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's these weird people that are, I don't know what. There's not
And these
ice
people
skates or roller
jogging.
skates or anything, but like, why are they jogging in unison? It's very strange. Why is she so like? I don't know. You know what she reminds me of? Not green Wicked Witch of the West. Honestly, or the East.
I don't know.
One of the Wizard of Oz.
One
But
of those
look how far
directionals.
away her navel and her stomach is. Look, how long her from her chest all the way down to it's just not.
Yeah.
Nothing is the right size.
It's fantastic. That's
There
what
we
I
go.
do.
He's up to something. He really is. Yeah. So what were we talking about before Future Spa? We talked about, and we were talking
So-
about taking time off.
Yeah. But anyway,
Fixing
so there is one of those locally for sale. Shouldn't buy it. I shouldn't buy it.
We should really start trading machines. See if someone wants to take 2 of our not working machines for 1 working machine.
Nice thorax.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it's
There's
Matthew
Matthew.
Moo. Matthew Martin. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze, friends. I apologize. Sorry. Excuse me. Sneezy. I'm sneezy. Yeah, so long story short, we're gonna try and get everything fixed up before the summer. Make sure we've got parts on hand, keep things going. It's been a little bit of a struggle just because I've been away, but we're hoping that that's fine. We'll have things running, and then in September, I'll go away again. And I don't know how 7 puts up with me. How do you put up with me leaving all the time, 7?
How do what?
How do you put up with me leaving all the time? I was saying I'm going to go back in September. He is the best human there is on the planet.
So we talk a lot in here about like finding things that you haven't seen for a long time. Because you know we're kind of marketing that whole retro thing, right? So check this out. Look what we found the other day. Remember these? Chiclets.
But we tried them and they taste like chiclets,
They taste
and
like
then
chiclets.
they stopped tasting like chiclets almost immediately. Oh, I don't know where he's going.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to run across there.
Yeah.
And what else did I run across the other day was
We got the Coke soda in, which we tried. That's awful. You brought back in the sour key soda.
oh yeah, we got Pop Shop sour keys.
They brought in a new flavor, but we still can't get grapes. It's supposed to taste like a sour key.
It's sort of a purpley color. You can't really see
a
on this,
lavender
but
color.
yeah, it's sort of
Yeah.
a lavender. Yeah,
But we can't get grape.
can't get grape for some reason. It's very strange.
Hold it to see what that after flavor is.
What?
Put a poll out to see what the apple flavor is that's in the key.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
were trying
yeah.
to figure out
There's
what
an underlying note to it.
There's something,
There's
yeah.
something there.
something
I
familiar.
couldn't put my finger on
Sour
it,
pea
but-
one, we
Something
can't
there,
figure out what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
kind of like a mixture of all of those gummy sour
Yeah.
candies
Yeah.
combined.
Maybe
There's
that's what it
something
is.
there.
Like I guess maybe that's what they're shooting for. If you take like all the different flavors, shove them in your mouth, chew them up,
That could-
that's what you're
that
left
might
over
be
with.
it.
Yeah.
Might be. But there is something. I couldn't put my
The
finger
only
on it.
candy
Yeah.
made out of chickens.
Only candy made out of what candy?
Chiclets.
Oh, chiclets. Yes.
That would actually be pretty horrifying if there was candy made out of chicken.
There's the chicken bone candy. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah,
Chicken bones?
that's not made of chicken.
Well, it should be. I mean, it's called chicken bones. Should have at least some chicken in it.
Let's see. What else is coming up? So, because I went away, we put the finishing the renovation in the back on hold, but we were talking about that today. Seven did a big cleanup and sorted some things in the back. So we're getting close to finishing that. We'll have our crazy freeze-dried candy up and going for the summer.
We'll do a at some point we'll do a live stream of a freeze dry live stream.
It'll just be a camera on the freeze dryer for 24 hours.
I could do that.
And taking your suggestions on what to freeze dry. We're going to do some of the classics, but we definitely want to do little ice cream scoops, ice cream sandwiches, sushi, pizza.
I really want to try sushi.
And pickle chips. We've heard pickles are really good. We want to do the little dill pickles and then yum yums and freeze dry those. Because I feel like that would just be like an overload of each bite would be like an overload of tang in your mouth.
Do you have yum yums in the United States? Yum yum pickles?
What?
Because I don't remember ever seeing those in the States. They were just called sweet pickles.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We call them yum yums. What is dry? A couple. What is YOLO? Oh, hi, Lauren. Yo, Lauren.
Oh,
I thought
Lauren,
that said
hey.
Yo Loam, and my brain is. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Lauren.
Who makes the yum yum pickles?
Bix.
Bix.
Bix makes all the pickles. Bix makes yum yums.
Yeah,
What
maybe
I
it's
don't
maybe
think
Bix isn't a brand that you find down in the
I
States.
love this.
That song is Big Lebowski.
And it's also the best mode in Big Lebowski is the nihilist dance. And they've got
Actually,
the
I
little-
wonder if that's the Autobahn song, because the band was called Autobahn, and I wonder if that music is one of the Autobahn musics that they had in the movie, because I don't remember.
I want to take an edible and watch Big Lebowski. Let's see. So we got the freeze dryer, and then the other thing that we waited to tell until the application and everything went through, and it's almost complete. Should we tell them?
Yeah,
Okay. Is that we will be able to officiate weddings here at the arcade starting in June.
yeah.
So if you want to come to the arcade and get married, I'm going to be a licensed officiant, or whatever they're called, commissioner here, marriage
That's
commissioner.
marriage commissioner.
I just have to go and learn how to file paperwork, which is the big part of it. And as soon as I finish learning how to file the paperwork, which I think is self-explanatory,
I don't
however.
know. It's like a 2-hour class, so it must be a little wonky.
Yeah,
right?
I guess it's very difficult to fill out forms and then take them to Vital Statistics. There must be something I'm missing, so that is the last piece. It's a 2-hour how to fill out forms course, but I think after June 14th, if you would like to come and get married in 7's Pinballorama, we are happy to assist, and we will have a package where you can get your very own freeze-dried, what are they? Wedding favors.
Because why not, right?
Seven's Pinballorama, freeze-dried candy wedding favors to go along with your marriage in Canada's largest pinball arcade. Because we like to be weird, we like to be fun. So why not be able to get married here?
And she'll be able to do the paperwork. She doesn't have to do the service, but she has to do the paperwork. But if you need an actual reverend or something to do the service, I'm one of those.
From what church is it again?
I don't remember.
Like
one of those like
Church of.
It's not the Church of the Subgenius, but I could probably do that too. It's.
And you are also a doctor.
I have from them. I have 2 doctorates. I have a doctorate in metaphysical studies, and I have a doctorate in some other stupid thing. Yeah. But
so,
it is an actual. I'll try and find it. It's.
Did you change screens? So, funny story. One time when Seven and I were away on
Universal Life Church.
That's right, Universal Life Church.
That's what it is.
So one time when we were staying in Victoria, for whatever reason, there was like a hockey tournament or something going on, and the kids were it was like midnight or later, and the kids were running up and down the hallways in the hotel, and so we called down at like midnight or something. Seven's like, "Hello, this is Dr."
No, they were doing construction.
No, that was the next morning. That night, there was kids running around, and so Seven called down and said, "Hi, this is Dr. Seven Graylands," and he said, I can't remember.
I don't even know why. I just did it because I thought it would be funny.
And technically, he did have that doctor at the time. And so he called down and said, "This is Dr. Seven Graylands." I mean, he was a doctor from the Universal Life Church. And said...
I have a doctorate in divinity.
And he might have...
Not the candy.
Exaggerated and said that we were on our
honeymoon.
And then,
no, I didn't say that. I said me and my bride, I think is what I said.
Or getting a little annoyed or whatever.
Yeah.
So they sent someone up and they told everyone to shut up. And then the next morning was Sunday morning. And at like 8 a.m. they started construction on the floor above us. We could not believe it. So we just packed up and left. And they're like, "Oh, Dr. Graylands, how was your stay?" when we went downstairs, which was funny. But we were actually not really great because not only were there screaming children, but you started construction at 8 a.m. on a Sunday when we wanted to sleep in. So then, unless they did it on purpose to get everybody to leave before early checkout. So a couple weeks later, Seven got a letter in the mail from the hotel that was all apologetic to Dr. Graylands. And hoped that we would come back for a couple nights stay to redo our honeymoon on them. So
we got a gift certificate for a couple nights.
We should have gotten anyways, considering like how awful it was.
Lauren asks if a couple wanted to get married on the low key, you'd be able to perform the service or just provide the venue. Yes, and yes, we could do either.
Yeah.
So she'll have the. She has the
power.
She's registered with PEI that she's able to do the documents, and really it's the documents is what gets you married.
Yeah.
The service is secondary, so she can fill out and submit the documents.
Yeah, and perform all over the island for everybody. So wherever you want to get married on PEI, if it fits in my schedule, we can talk about it.
And we're gonna work out some sort of thing that, if you wanted to go to the beach and get married, then she can go and do it there, and that'll be one price. But if you wanted to reserve something here, it'll be a different price, and we'll come up when it's all officially official.
Yeah. And we still want to make
the
sure.
Outlane Pinball. Hello.
Hi, Elaine. It's nice to see you again. And we want to make sure people, like, the whole thing about the arcade is we want to make sure that it's accessible to everyone. We try and have reasonable prices on stuff, so we'll make sure that, you know, we're not going to be those people that are charging an arm and a leg just to have you get married.
Yeah.
So, come get married, bring your friends, and we'll make you a bag of, I keep wanting to say souvenir. Favor candy, wedding favor candy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get married at Seven's Pinballorama. Get a free pack of candy cigarettes.
There you go. Might be something. Maybe we'll figure it out. We get like something free with everyone. Oh my god.
Get a
2
free
passes
arrow
with
bar
everybody.
because we have a whole pile of arrow bars that nobody's bought. So you get a free arrow bar.
Yeah. Why is arrow not very popular?
With every wedding purchase, you get a free candy bar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't like arrow bars.
It's well, we go through waves. Like we had maybe last summer a whole bunch of people wedding buttons. I could totally make buttons. Oh yeah, we were making buttons last week.
Yeah, good.
They I'm sure come summertime, they'll be flying off the shelves.
I think I'm gonna have to make a modification to our shirts that have like I guess I'll have to do several different variations. So we can do a bride and a groom. We can do a groom and a groom and a bride and a bride.
Oh my god, you
all
have
in
to.
pointy people.
I was gonna say make
Yeah.
them lobsters though.
Yes. Right? But they have like their wedding gear on.
Oh my
or I
God.
could do 2 lobsters.
I think you should do 2 lobsters.
And
Forget
then-
about wedding people. Lobsters.
Lobster-
Everybody
yeah,
vote in
we'll
the
just
chat right now.
lobsters.
Do you want pointy people with wedding stuff, or do you want lobsters? 2 lobsters playing that are getting married beside a pinball machine in
Yeah.
wedding stuff.
And then we can actually just put like I got hitched at Seven's Pinballorama.
Oh.
And we could put them up there for sale. And then people will ask us like, "What the hell is that about?"
Yeah.
And say, "You can get
I
married
think we
here."
should just put a sign right here in the window that says "We do weddings." Right? Get married today. I mean, you can't get married today because you need to get your marriage license first. Pretty sure that's not my job. That's your job. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's my job. I mean, I think I can help once I do learn how to file paperwork. Anyways, we'll have a big sign here that says "We do weddings." It's going to be very exciting. Oh,
There's
got-
a vote for a lobster. Yeah, I think a lobster would be better because then I can make them gender neutral, and they'll apply to everybody, right? Instead of coming up with 3 different versions of it. Of a shirt.
yeah.
Yeah, and they can just have a.
Yeah, you could do 3, or no. Oh, I thought you meant you could do 3 versions of the lobster. Like,
No, I'll just do 1, and there'll be 2 lobsters and another lobster doing the service,
Okay,
and then we can
we'll figure it out.
yeah. And then it'd be a thing. If you get married here, you get a free T-shirt. I mean, they're not that expensive to print. We can give a couple of T-shirts away.
Right? Yeah. Part of the package. Oh, we got lobster
Another
boats
lobster.
coming in. Yeah, I think. Well, because this one's got the little braids. I mean, we talked about doing one without the braids
Without
too,
the braids,
but
yeah. But everybody was pretty keen on having it have the braids,
Yeah.
the hat. Although it is not Anna Green Gables lobster. Is not trademarked Anna Green Gables. It
No.
is it's a lobster with red hair.
right?
Because lobsters are red.
Yeah. Why
They're
can't they?
gingers,
Why
right?
can't they wear hats and everything? Any new?
Any new pinball arcade pickups? We were actually just talking about a Valley Futures Ball is for sale in the area. I want that game. I shouldn't buy it. I will probably.
I'm
I don't know.
usually very. I don't know if enabler is the word. encouraging. I don't know what the word is. I feel like, so while I've been gone, there have been a lot of changes, and not that it's bad. 7 got me...
You've been gone for 2 months, and I brought in like 4 or 5 new games.
No, there's more than 4 or 5 new games. I'm sorry, there's way more than 4 or 5 new games. I feel like 7 got like 10 new games while I was gone. But like Neo Geo, he picked that one up because it was my favorite game growing up. I played it at the laundromat when do you love the art on Future Spa at Lane Pinball? We had a whole discussion before you joined on the artwork on Future Spa. Neo Geo Bubble World or Bubble Pop Puzzle, that was one of my favorites growing up, and so 7 got that for me because I missed being here. It was a long time to be away unexpectedly. Ooh, I felt that. I think the wind's changed, so 7's changing the window. Anyways, I'm getting... My brain's a little fuzzy.
Player 2.
So, any new pinballs? Anyways, point of the story being, I feel like we've gotten a lot of machines. If 7 wants to get a new one, I will support him in his endeavor. One of the things we're going to work on this week, one of the struggles, we've kind of talked about this, that we've had is that 7 doesn't have a good space here to work on machines, and it would be so much easier if he could like haul a machine into a little workshop here and then back out onto the floor, or an area where he can test boards and swap them out, but he doesn't. Next space, future space. So hopefully this weekend we're going to work on organizing the workshop a little bit more, because we've had a lot of new machines and new parts and things come in and just been put into the workshop, and so it's kind of hard to move around in there now, so we're going to spend some time tidying that up so 7's got a bit more time to work on machines, because while it's great picking up machines, we also have like 40, 50 more machines in storage that we haven't pulled out yet. That's a lot of machines. 7 seems really cool with customers. 7 is fantastic with customers. Sorry, I'm like way back. Elaine said, love the art in the game. I think we were talking Future Spa. If Nancy goes away for an hour, I bring in international dancing girls for company. Okay, says Spikes. Elaine Pinball says, I sold my space station now, looking and or saving for the next one. So, backing up a bit, Spike says, if Nancy, I'm assuming Nancy is the person that goes and helps you DJ at places and supports you while you're a DJ. Goes away for an hour, he brings in international dancing girls for company. 7 I'm surprised. He has our cats, and I almost thought I might come home to a kitten. Maybe. No, I'm joking. He's got all of the customers. And then Elaine says, you seem very cool with customers, and I said you are. 7 is incredible with the customers.
Sold Space Station. Space Station's a game that I wouldn't mind having.
Is that an arcade?
That's a pinball machine. It's
Okay.
a Williams machine.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a cool game. Yeah. See, if I get, I'm thinking about this logic. If I buy Future Spa, I can pull Blackwater out of here because that machine is pissing me off and I can't fix it. So we'll just take Blackwater, we'll put that in storage and pretend like it never existed, and we'll put Future Spa in its place, and then we don't have a dark machine over on that wall. See how it's easy. It's
and
clean.
then what are we going to do with the other Blackwater?
With my 2 Blackwaters?
I'm sure we could put one together to...
That one's a stupid glitch that I'm going to find it and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, there it is. It's not in the board set. I know it's not in the board set because it has 3 completely different boards in it that work and have. It's not the board. It's something else.
Did you?
I don't know what it is.
Well, and this is the thing where Seven just needs time to like work through a problem, and he hasn't had time because I've been away. So we'll find time for him to like go and work through the problems on some of these. Oh, the new game at Spatula City Reset. What is that?
I don't know what that means.
Spike, please explain.
We'll do this because now we can read without that thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Big Lebowski is such a good game. Okay.
Check the diodes. So here's the thing what's going on with it. Is what it does is it's got 4 balls in it, but only 3 are ever really in play, right? So it kicks out 3 balls, and they go up to the top, and then the gate drops, and then all 3 balls come down. What happens, and it's happening on both MPUs that I have, and it's all the power is correct and everything else. Like I've replaced a complete board set in there, thinking it was like the MPU or something else going on. So it kicks out the first ball, up it goes. Kicks out the second ball, up it goes. Kicks out the third ball, up it goes. It kicks out the 4th ball, and then the gate doesn't drop. But it doesn't do it every time. It does it periodically.
And doesn't it sometimes kick out 2 balls at once? And
Sometimes it kicks
3
out 2 balls at once, and then sometimes the whole freaking thing crashes. For like the displays go dead and then it doesn't do anything. But I don't understand where the disconnect is. Like if it were the MPU, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But the MPU that I have for it was just reworked, and it's at 100%.
So the other thing too, though, that is interesting about this is it didn't all happen at once. At first, it was just every so often 1 extra ball was getting put into the trough, and it was kicking out all 4. And then all of these other errors started happening. So it wasn't every single time. It's kind of over time gotten to all of these weird little extra weird functions.
There's some other boards underneath. I haven't really investigated this because I just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
But there are some other boards underneath the playfield, and I think that they're similar to what Bally has, where they're like solenoid expanders or something like that.
We've had issues with those before.
So it's possible because I've got 2 different MPUs. They both act the same. It's not the MPU, so it's something else somewhere. If I had the ability, I have another Blackwater 100 at home. I could load up the MPUs on that one and just to verify that it's not the MPUs. But I think it has something to do with it. I would love to just set them both up right next to each other and be able to swap parts on it. It's like this one works, this one doesn't. All right, let's figure out what's going on, because I have no idea. I don't have enough experience with that era of Bally game, of troubleshooting those games, and they're just weird. I don't know.
Elaine says it's probably just a fuse.
It's probably just a fuse, although I did check all the fuses. And then of the same generation, the same era, I have Strange Science in the back row there.
And that one's been...
That one, I know what it is. I just haven't been able to find it. It's something it's on the switch matrix, because at first there's a scoop that the ball lands in, and it doesn't kick. It doesn't know that it's in there. Which kills the game when the ball is sitting in the scoop and it doesn't know it and won't kick it out. So at first I was like, oh, okay, well it's that switch. So I adjusted the switch. I lifted it up, messed with it, could poke on it. Okay, the switch, it fires. Lower the playfield back down. It works for 4 or 5, 6 games or a week, and then it goes dead again. Lift the thing up, mess around with it, lay it back down again. Now everything on that switch leg is dead. So I have checked everything under the playfield. everything seems intact. Diodes in place. Diodes working. Diodes making a connection, because I had a problem on Genie where it took me forever to find it. And I finally found it. There was a diode, one of the legs had broken off of the diode, and it was just barely touching. And when you lifted it up, the weight of it would touch it. And then when you put it back down again, it wouldn't.
And it was so frustrating, because Seven would go like, ee,
yeah.
And then finally we figured it out. And it's fascinating how it's always something, it can be something so small that affects such a...
So what I think it is on Strange Science, actually, now, where I've kind of gone to, I need to do it, the exact same thing with Big Gun. So I need to check up to the board, because it's possible that it's that particular wire going to it's a connector that is disconnected, connecting to the board, or it's the pin on the board has a cold solder point, and that's not making a solid connection.
Yeah.
That's where I am with that one next.
And that's where I come in.
Pulling it out of there.
We'll find time and we'll get that one done. We have a bunch of chat in here, so check the diodes.
Leaf or micro switches on which game? On both of those, I think that they're all leaf switches actually now, because they're the same generation, and I don't think there's any micro switches on those old Bally games. They're all leaf switches.
So Spike, going back up, said, how's the new game at Spatula City reset? And I said, what is Spatula City? And Spike said, Spatula City is Matthew's new arcade. Matthew, can you drop a link in for your new arcade in the chat so we can check it out? I just tried Googling Spatula City arcade and nothing came up. I mean, nothing came up at the top of Google. So drop it in the chat so we can hear about it. Matthew says, I'm so confused. Are you confused about the arcade, or are you confused about all the problems we're having on our 3 machines?
Spatula City.
Oh, he's confused. Okay, I thought that was the name of your arcade. I'm missing everything. And then now we're all caught up. Okay. All right. So I'm confused too. It's all right. We'll all be confused together. What on earth is going on here? I don't know. Matthew, you opened an arcade called Spatula City and you didn't tell anybody, and apparently nobody told you opened an arcade
and
either.
Spike is leaning back going, I've installed madness into the people.
And confusion.
Spike's work is done here.
Right? For a chat about nothing, we sure did chat a lot about pinball just then.
Yeah, we hardly ever talk about pinball on this pinball channel.
But now, let's see, we're going to have, we talked about candy, and we talked about weddings, but weddings at Pinballorama.
We talked about my dubious doctorates.
That's right, yeah. So
doctorate in divinity, not the candy, and a doctorate in metaphysical studies.
That's right.
Whatever the hell that means.
I'm going to jump back up to a comment I realized we didn't read out loud. Outline says, it's fun watching the guy play Big Lebowski. They are so into it. It's so true. Yes. And every time people play, it's so fun. Okay, so tell me your thought on this. I think it would really, really funny to do. I told Seven we should do this. Making a parody TikTok on the way people play pinball. People that stand there and they slap the sides of the machines, like top 10 ways of how to play pinball. Slap the sides of the machines, stand with your legs 10 feet apart, do the pinball dance.
Well, I still want to do a YouTube video that is based on YouTube videos with all of the jump cut editing and all the stupid stuff that like a lot of YouTube videos include nowadays. So we could do a YouTube video on how to play pinball. Like with all the jump cut stuff and
then a 10-hour
include all that
intro.
stuff. And, yeah.
I hate 10-hour intros. 10-hour intros that also jump cut between every single breath. Take a breath. Let me know that you're a human and not a robot.
Spike has a PhD. Post-hole digger.
Optic Lane asks, that's an interesting topic. Do you like leaf switches or optic? That's an interesting question. Because when we had Batman, that one had the worst optic sensors, and I think we had to clip them, and we even had to do that on Starship, I think, as well. Or was it Royal Rumble? So
No, Royal Rumble they have micro switches.
Okay.
Valhalla has optical switches in the ship, and that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Honestly, I prefer a physical switch over an optical switch.
Yeah.
Because a physical switch is dirt easy to test, right? Like you just do a continuity test on it and you find out if it's working or not.
See you later,
Done.
Matthew.
Matthew, see you later.
Have a great night. Yeah, I think because you can touch it with the optical switches. It's so hard. Is it the light out? Is the light dirty? Is there something in front of the light?
Something wrong with the board.
Right?
Not getting power.
With the switch, you can
there's a lot of problems. Right?
test them and see what's going on.
Oh, movie sign. Pinball Dance was the name of my Men Without Hats cover band.
You got the movie. Thanks, and see you soon. Movie sign. What's that?
Optical switches are the first and most likely area to fail because it's just normal dirty buildup. They will fail, and they're just and nowadays everybody's using them because they're cheap, right?
Yeah.
They're cheaper than putting in a physical switch,
Which is crazy because I would think with a physical switch, it's just a couple pieces of metal that you solder together. How is that cheaper than an LED light? I mean, talking about optical, like, what do you call it? We Sevens struggled twice with getting the sensors. It's a little different, but in Terminator, because they were, the little lights and everything. So it's a weird gun tracking system in Terminator. Is that in the end of the gun, there's actually a camera, and there are 10 emitters that go around the screen. There's 5 on top, 5 on the bottom. Maybe there's 6 on that one. I forget. There's 5 or 6 on the top, 5 or 6 on the bottom. And the emitters have 3 LEDs on them, but not every LED is lit. So on the top row, far left, 1 is lit, then 2 are lit, then 1 is lit, then 2 is lit, then 1, or whatever it is. And that's how it knows which one is which. So as you're pointing the gun at the camera, it sees these lights, and then how it moves around like this, and how that. yeah.
But they don't really tell you for this particular game what lights are supposed to be lit on them, and each emitter is like $100 each. And I was gonna I replaced half of them, and it tracked a lot better.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to be that much different. Like, I think that the LEDs just sort of got dim and they weren't quite bright enough. You could see them on a phone. Like you could hold it up, you could see them there. In fact, I could show you now.
Before you run off, Outlane Pinball says it'll be interesting to see Dutch Pinball's new game. I hadn't heard they were making a new game.
We're going to play out the night, so whatever that costs to do the rest of the night.
I'm not satisfied yet.
For you?
We'll just 1 hour and we'll that's all.
Cool.
All right, 1719, friend.
Right on.
All right, I'm gonna go over and we'll look
Sorry,
at
it's
those
waking
emitters
up.
because we're talking about it. Here we go. I think we can see the emitters.
Jesus, what is wrong with
There
you?
we
Wake
go.
up. There you go. All right.
Camera. Oh, wait a
Good for
minute.
both of you.
Thank
Of course,
you.
Thank you.
My-
Everyone says
I have
that they like how you guys are having a really good
Camera
time
Safari
playing Big
Adventure
Lebowski.
Time. Here we
We've
go.
got the camera
Yeah.
facing down.
I've never played like I haven't seen my brother since I got married a couple years ago.
Is that your brother?
It's my brother.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that was
let's see
your
if we can-
brother.
It's my
See him
brother.
on-
We do not look
Oh, I
alike at
can't
all.
see him on this
Try to
phone.
get my other brother to come too. He lives here and he's up here.
No, I can't see him on this phone.
Swimming lessons over there for his.
That
for
might
his,
be one
daughter.
there. Yeah, that's one. There's
That's
one.
my brother Jeff. He's here from.
How
Calgary.
young is his daughter? There's one guy that we
It's
really
too dark.
upset because he keeps parking in our lot and we told
That
him
one
to
has
stop.
2.
Oh, really?
There you go. There's
Yeah.
2 of
She's
them.
3.
Yeah. Anyway, they're there. Go along here.
Not
And
to be
then
mean, there was someone
they're
that
up
came
here,
in and
too.
he's come in a couple times and he came in
You can-
once
oh,
and
you
it was
can see
just
2 of
like,
them right
Mike,
there.
it's probably not him.
Dude,
I just
dude.
want to see if she'll like it. And so
Two
they
there.
came in and then she just started pushing a bunch of buttons and
there.
I was like, okay, well, I'll let, if you stay
One.
with her, I'll let you, charge you for
1.
one person.
Yeah.
And then she kind of ran off and started a bunch of games and then he was
Nah,
like
would
playing.
be, he would. I,
I
don't
can't
think
see
he's
any
ever
on
been
the
in.
bottom.
Okay,
Come out.
yeah.
Maybe that's why he's coming out. But no, he.
Anyways, then he
Whatever.
started parking in our lot too.
Upstairs because he's gone over to and he's playing.
And then and then the end of the gun.
The what?
the Pokemon.
This is actually a USB camera
Oh my god,
that
yes.
plugs in through USB.
I know, whenever, oh, sorry.
Funny game.
Talking while Seven, we're
one?
having 2 different conversations. I'm so sorry.
I would never buy this again.
Seven's telling them all about the lights over there.
If I had to,
I should maybe I'll take my mic
if I
off
got,
for a
I
second
would,
so you
if
don't-
I could, I would swap this for the smaller
no,
one
that's
that has
very
the
fine.
guns
Yeah,
that are on the
when I
post
was-
because that's a
God,
mechanical
this is gonna
tracking
be awful.
system.
I'm gonna be gone for like half
I'd
the
never
year
do
by
this
the
again.
time
I don't really like
September
that
rolls
machine.
around because I have to go back to BC again. Anyways, when I was in BC in December,
Yep.
hello.
We were both sitting there talking. And
I know. I'm so sorry, guys. When I was in BC in December or November, all of my friends were just like, "We're having a Pokemon party. You got to download Pokemon Go again." And I was just like, "Okay." And so now I play like infrequently. And
Yep.
so when I got back here, I was like, "Oh my God, this is a gym!" And so now I just like fill up my bag and then go home in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing, and then just like catch Pokemon, and then come back here at the end of the week, fill up my bag.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways.
Wild in Vancouver when Pokemon Go was going. We were down in Kitsilano, people were just walking everywhere, right in the middle of the road.
It was wild.
Nobody
Right.
paying attention.
It was
Oh my God,
wild here.
this is gonna end well.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
were
that's
parked
us.
everywhere. Victoria Park, they barricaded police
Yeah.
because everybody would just abandon their cars to go catch.
It's
cars.
wild, man.
That is insane.
All right.
I didn't know that was his brother.
yeah.
I didn't know that. Apparently, I have another brother too, and he lives here. And he said, right
Maybe you
here.
should go first.
Yeah, where did the coat rack go?
It's over there.
This was my whole
Oh, okay.
That's probably it.
I had no motion. I was limited. I couldn't get the perfect.
That's
cross.
exactly right. That's the reason why. He said his brother has a 3-year-old daughter that goes to swimming lessons. I was like, uh-oh, maybe he has to come in because there's someone with a little daughter that we've told to get out of our parking lot because they park here. And then they go over for swimming lessons and then they take up all the spots. Like there was one time we had like 2 or 3 cars here and we were in the middle of the day and it was super busy. And so Seven started printing flyers and leaving them on people's windshields, which is a work. Oh man, are we optical switches are the first to go? Nope, it'll be interesting. Okay, I've been wanting to get this comment at Lane Pinball about Dutch Pinball, new pinball game. I'm gonna wait until Seven comes back. I don't know where he went. He just disappeared.
I think I already beat myself.
You did.
I did. Like I'm literally. Yeah, this is gonna be an improvement.
My brother Daryl, this is my other brother Daryl. I know someone who named their kid Christopher. Legit. Okay, did you know this? Dutch Pinball's coming out with a new game.
I heard that they were coming out with a new game.
Outline says they heard it's going to be Back to the Future.
Yeah, I heard they were coming out with a new game. I don't remember if I heard it was Back to the Future. But yeah.
I imagine that one, if Big Lebowski has a 15-month wait, oh my god, it's going to be 5 years before you get a Back to the Future.
I do hope if they do that, because there's already a Back to the Future game. I hope that they include all of the movies, or they just focus on like one. Like I would love Back to the Future where the theme is just the future part of Back to the Future, because there's a lot of aesthetics that they can play with. But if they have a bunch of the Old West kind of aesthetics and the 50s aesthetic, like, hard to say. I don't know. I would rather Dutch Pinball came up with their own original theme, because they're all so creative. I mean, they did such a good job on Big Lebowski that I would think that they could probably get away with doing an original theme, and it would probably be good.
Yeah, I think.
But how hard could it be?
Or doing something that's not even like based on a movie, but Hot Wheels. Picking a brand, you know, and going with that, because they could have done anything with Hot Wheels, and they came up with a really fun idea on the layout of the game and what the gameplay was like. So if you really wanted to have something that's licensed, then you know, picking something where you have a lot more creative license for a licensed game.
I'm looking at there's a
April 25th to reveal new Back to the Future machine at Pinball Expo in October. Oh, we have to wait until October. Where is this Pinball Expo? 40th. Oh, Chicago. Should we go to Chicago? Oh, what week in October? I'm gonna Google that. Please be the end of October. Damn it! That's when I'm working. Literally, it ends on the day that is the biggest day of my contract. You go down to, you know what? I'll go to BC, you go to Chicago. And then we'll have Jacob run the shop and forget about buying a car. That's what I think you should do.
Never been to Chicago.
Chicago. And you can have a deep dish pizza. Ooh, you can meet Outlane Pinball.
It's not a pizza, it's a casserole.
Anybody from Chicago want to argue that?
I'm of the belief, I'm 100% with John Stewart that deep dish pizza is not pizza, it is a casserole. That said, it's a delicious casserole.
We should make one.
We should.
We
should teach them next door how to make a deep dish pizza, because they'd be the only place on the island that made one. And then they should change their name to Island Brothers Pizza. And I think that they would do much, much better.
Outlane says he's been there for the last 6 years in Chicago. I think you should go to Chicago. I would like to go too, but literally I have a work contract that ends on the 19th.
What's the weather usually like in Chicago in October?
Maybe I could fly. How much are flights from Vancouver to Chicago? I wouldn't be able to be there for the expo though.
But you can get in the car and drive back with me.
That's true. Let's see.
I wonder how long does it take to drive to Chicago?
Chicago. Someone else say Chicago. What am I Googling? Google flights. Only problem with that though is that I still have a bunch of luggage to take home. And I wouldn't want to bring it into the U.S.
Directions. There it is right there. From Seven's Pinballorama to Chicago.
Okay. We're going to do one way from...
23 hours.
Ugh, I think you should fly there. Chicago. Chicago, Illinois.
This route here. I want to take that route through the Canadas.
That is so unfair. It is so cheap. Guess how much it costs to fly from Vancouver to Chicago non-stop. $279. You know how much it costs to fly from Vancouver to PEI? Usually $600.
Why is this not displayed? I want to go up through the New Brunswicks and through the Quebecs.
No.
Why is it not showing it?
True.
This is weird. Whatever. Whatever way I take, it's 23 something hours.
I think you should just fly there.
Let's see. I've been there when it's 70 degrees and it's been 40s below. I don't know freedom units. Hold on a second. 70 freedom units to Canadian units. So 70 freedom units is 21 Canadian units, and 40 freedom units
Oh, that's not a bad price.
is 4 Canadian units. That's colder.
Oh, 5 hours from you. So good. What is, sorry, say that again. What's 70 American?
That's
Can you translate that, please?
21.
Really?
And 40 is 4.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Well, maybe I'll go to Vancouver, you fly to Chicago, we'll meet back up in PEI. Chicago.
Where that comes from actually is there's a movie called Outsourced that came out in the 90s or something, and it's about a guy who works at a call center in Seattle, and he manages a call center. They outsource the whole thing to India, and they fire his whole office. He goes to India
To manage the call center there.
manage call center there. And during the classes, he's teaching them how to have American accents on their English. And that's how he tells them to say Chicago.
Oh!
What's what?
Oh no, he didn't realize the ball was gonna pop out and didn't have his hands on the flippers. Almost lost it, sorry.
Yeah, so they're pronouncing it Chicago. And it's like, no, Chicago. And so there's all these people in the class, Chicago. Anyway, that's why I say it that way.
Lauren says drag the blue route to the highway you want to travel.
Too late. I've already changed the screen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little bit further than I thought it was going to be. If it was like we can manage.
Yeah, that's a 2 or 3 day drive.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, after my contract in September, October, I do want to take some time off. Although that being said, that's going to be the busiest time for hiring with HR. I do HR, by the way, people. Trying to figure out how I can take time off to meet them in Chicago. I mean, nobody's going to be hiring people right after. Anyways. Hopefully after September, it will be a while. I'm going to say probably a year or two before I go back. At least a year before I go back to BC. In between November and October, like less than a year, I will have been away for almost 4 months of this year, or the last 12 months, and I'm so sorry. Seven is a very good person.
Are there local shows you can go to around here? No.
What kind of local shows? Any kind of local
Any
shows?
sort of pinball or arcade.
No.
There's nothing in the Maritimes.
We've actually
Thought about doing one.
Yeah, we got a little more established, and but like the problem is we're so busy, and I think having a bigger space would be a little bit easier, but.
And the other problem is that a lot of local shows rely on volunteers to bring in machines
Yeah.
to help kind of fill up the thing. So we could bring in 100 machines, right? Because we've got 60 some odd more in storage.
Mm-hmm.
Just fix them all up, bring them all in, whatever. We could do the whole pinball show if we wanted to. And have at least the pinball machines and stuff there.
Yeah.
We'd have to clear this place out. But places like Tacoma Show or Allentown or any of those, they rely on volunteers to donate machines for the event. And there's just not that many people on the island that have machines. There's some people that have some arcade machines. I know a few collectors with 10 machines or maybe more. I know a guy with a whole storage unit of them on the island. But there's not enough people. And then
I mean, there's
now,
other people in the Maritimes, but it's
yeah,
too far to bring them.
I know a guy in Moncton that's got a whole pile of machines. I know a guy in Halifax with piles, and a couple of guys in Halifax with piles of machines. But getting them here, it costs money. Not to drive, but to cross the bridge, or to bring them across on the ferry. That's all an extra expense as well. So it just. If there was going to be an event, it would be in Halifax, or probably in Halifax, more than Moncton, maybe. Although there's a lot of pinball machines in Moncton.
Yeah.
Like, there's more pinball machines available to the public in public settings in Moncton than there is in Halifax, when I think about it.
I mean, if someone wanted to put together a show in Moncton, I wouldn't be opposed to packing up, a dozen or more machines.
I could talk to Pat
and go over there for a
if he wants to
weekend.
do something.
If people, that's the thing with the Tacoma show, and I'm sure it's similar with the Chicago one and the Allentown show. They have trucks routed to go and pick up all the machines, and then they pick them up, they come in, they set them up, they drop them off, they've got all of the keys labeled and everything. There's just a lot of coordination that has to happen with the show, but I think it would be really fun because we still have people that drive by or hear about us somehow and they never knew we existed, and they come from Moncton and Halifax all the time, and people from the island too. They're like, oh my God, how long have you been open? I never heard of you. This is amazing. So it would be great exposure, and it would, just something fun, new, different.
Yeah, if we can get Pat and Shaylin involved. There's a guy in Moncton, he owns Spin It Records. He's got, his personal collections of machine is huge. And then the guy who owns Most Wanted, which is buy, sell, kind of a pawn shop-y sort of deal. He's got stores all around the Maritimes. He has quite a number of machines as well. It's kind of his personal passion is collecting his machines, and he's not really doing it. And I harass him all the time. I'm like, hey, you want to get together and open an arcade together, right? Because he's got a bunch of video, and which I don't have. And he has a fairly large family. He has, I don't know how many stores he has, and he's getting it to the point where he can be a little more hands-off, and he's just like, man, right now I'm just enjoying being a little bit more hands-off instead of starting another business. But
right.
I might, if we end up with a much larger space, I might harass him a bit more and find out about DC machines from him. Because as far as I know, his machines are just sitting
as long
somewhere.
as he's the one that fixes them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they're just sitting in warehouses doing nothing. And he's got big VR games. He's got all kinds of stuff. But
yeah, that would be pretty
he's
fun.
just sort of waiting for. I think he's collecting them with the idea that he'll do something with them eventually. But to open up an arcade, it's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of time that he just doesn't have right now.
If you got Pat involved, I would want him to bring his what was the machine?
Weird Al.
Yes.
Weird Al machine.
I want to try the Weird Al one.
Someone was asking about what might be next in our machines to buy, or something that's on the wish list of machines to buy, and that framework that the Weird Al machine is on might be a candidate. I looked into it. It's interesting. I have to play one though because it seems like there's not quite enough to shoot at to make it interesting enough game.
Is that one of the ones where you swap out the playfield? It's like
you swap out the. It's mostly there's the front part which is mostly a screen, like the lower half is a screen.
Oh, that's right.
And the flippers sit on top of the screen, and then the back part is removable and you can swap it out, and they have like several different back portions depending on the game that's programmed into it. And then you can basically, whatever back portion you're using, you can download whatever game uses that back, or maybe each game has a different back portion. I'm not quite too
Let us
clear on
know
that.
in the comments, friends.
And I even forget the name of that framework of what that is.
Pin 3000? No.
No, it's like I don't know.
They're not coming down. No. What?
Oh,
The
no.
P3.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry I'm yawning so much, friends.
Weird Al's Museum of Natural Hilarity. And then the P3 pinball. Multimorphic. That's what it is.
Are you sharing? There we go.
Browsing. So there's the game kit.
22. Oh wow, Princess Bride.
That's a new one. The Weird
Oh,
Al
and
one.
limited edition.
Which doesn't tell you. Yeah, so this back part is unique to this game. And this one is especially unique because it's got the camera and a bunch of other stuff.
Player 2, you're up.
But then see this lower half here is just all screen and stuff.
Screen
There's
with a
little-
couple of pop bumpers and
Some
stuff.
plastics and stuff, yeah. And if you go look at another one, okay, so this one has different
Yeah.
stuff in the back too. Requires a left and right side target flipper assembly.
I'm sorry. Keep yawning.
And then what's the other one that there's one Lexi Lightspeed. This is one. It's been around for a little while, I think, on this one. And I might have actually played this at the pinball show in Tacoma. But I don't remember very much about it. I thought it was a custom one, like a homebrew machine, but
There's
it might
a
have been
couple
this
of
one.
companies that have popped up and people are doing custom machines, or like not custom machines, small batch production. Like there was that guy in Vancouver we heard about that's just doing random, what was his thing? He started a pinball company and he's just like doing a whole bunch of one-offs. I can't remember, we heard about it. P3, yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
P3.
Newest one is the Princess Bride. Have you played it, Outland?
One of the things that with my collection of machines that I always talk about is that I'm trying to get one of each gimmick. So I want a machine with a roto target. I want a machine with a little spinner in the playfield. I want a machine with, that's kind of how I started collecting. So the P3 platform fits in that it's got a screen as part of the playfield.
Yeah.
I don't have another one like that. Big Lebowski, it's got a bowling alley. Valhalla has the magnet that whips the ball around.
How many
in
other
random
machines have one of those other than the Addams Family?
Three or four of them
Everybody help name machines that have the magnet under the playfield like Addams Family and
that'll
Legends of
grab and
Valhalla.
whip the ball in a general direction.
So now that we've got Valhalla, we don't need an Addams Family. Unless someone's selling one for rolla cheap.
Adam's Family, unfortunately, is on my list of something that I have to get probably eventually. But
So one of the reasons we didn't get it when we were in Vancouver is one, it was expensive, but two, you could find them everywhere. Everyone was always talking about Adam's Family, and now we come out here and you can't find one anywhere. And so now it's like, okay, well now we have to get an Adam's Family.
yeah, in Vancouver there were probably 6 or 7 places in Vancouver, public places like bars or whatever, that you can go and play an Adam's Family. So I was like, I don't need an Adam's Family because everybody's got an Adam's Family. But nobody had a skate ball, so I really wanted a skate ball. Emily says, I seen it at Midwest Gaming Classic, but I didn't get a chance to play it.
Is Lauren the one that gave us the button for Battlezone?
Mm-hmm.
And was Lauren also the one that had the party here recently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thought so.
Yep. Lauren is on the island.
Hello.
We got a plasma globe at his garage sale.
That's right. Seven was going to ask you about your knowledge of video arcades, Lauren. Since we have a couple that need some troubleshooting.
I don't have as much experience on video arcades as I do on pinballs.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to have someone who has a little bit more experience with CRTs and that kind of angle that I could tap if I need help with stuff. I know a guy off island, but it's difficult to get machines to him. And no matter what I do, it's always going to cost me an extra $110 because I gotta take it there and then I gotta go pick it up. So there's the bridge cost.
Yeah, we were actually I was talking to Seven the other day. I was like, the guy, he's on the island because we saw I couldn't remember your name, Lauren, and then you popped up and I was like, I think that's him. Just because we've got a couple, machines that go down, and like Seven said, the CRT is not something that Seven's worked on as much as the pinball, so he's still figuring those ones out, although I find Seven very smart and he figures things out. But if that's something that you are good at, Seven would love to, figure things out. Because we've got a couple of games, like we got Rampage.
I'll be 3.
That is having a screen issue.
I'm in on this game.
Oh, okay. Seven's going to be in on this game. And then we have Lethal Enforcers that's having we don't know what issue. We took it to get fixed. It got fixed, came back with a buzzing sound, and then it stopped working again. We have a Space Invaders Deluxe that worked for about 4 hours after we bought it and then stopped working.
Oh, that game.
And we have an Atari Drag Race, and that one, I totally forgot we even have that one. That one is so cool. And the guy's like, guarantee it's working, because it was pouring rain. He had it in his storage unit. The steering wheels weren't attached. We got it plugged in, and I can't even remember what the issue. But we have some really awesome, fun games, arcade games, and now they've gone down, and it's not something that we have as much experience with as pinball machines. So, anyways, if you're looking for something to do in retirement, Lauren, Seven has taken his mic off, and now they're playing The Big Lebowski with everybody else. Hi, Corey. Have we? Corey's asking if we've ever considered the Chicago Gaming Company for new machines. I think we have. It's not that we're against other ones. Chicago's the one that remakes a lot of the popular games, right? Pinball. Yeah, I think Attack from Mars was on our list. We wouldn't mind getting a Medieval Madness if we found one for cheap. I think Cactus Canyon? I think we played Cactus Canyon. And did we? Or maybe I'm thinking of... No, I'm thinking of that watermelon game. I know we played Medieval Madness. I know that one's really popular. Pulp Fiction looked really good. I had forgotten that one had come out, and that one looked pretty interesting. And so that's a possibility. But I do know Seven. I think Seven liked Attack from Mars. I think.
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
That was the one we looked at. I hadn't actually thought about those ones in a while. I mean, we did look when Pulp Fiction came out. Yeah, they mostly do remakes, except for Pulp Fiction. That one's not a remake. When Pulp Fiction came out, we looked at that one. But it's another one of those ones where we haven't had the opportunity to play the game, and we'd really like to try out the games before we purchase one like that. With Big Lebowski, we actually got to play one of the first prototypes in Canada about, gosh, I hate to say, I'm gonna say like 7 or 8 years ago now, which makes it seem too far long ago. It don't like that it was that long ago. It doesn't feel like it's taken us this long to get it started. Like, anyways, but even the prototype had a lot of glitches for the Big Lebowski, and we enjoyed it so much 7 years ago that we never stopped talking about it. And we hadn't really played another one since then, but we just remembered how much we liked it. So Big Lebowski was on our list. But yeah, we maybe when I go back to BC for work in September and October, I'll force Seven to fly down to Chicago, and go try the machines out, and then he can pick which one he wants to get, whether it's, Wizard of Oz, Galactic Tank Force, what were some of the other ones that he mentioned earlier in the chat? Or maybe a Pulp Fiction, or maybe a P3, or maybe all of them. We have been known, I mean, if he drives, I'm going to move into this chair. I kind of goes off kilter now that I'm like in the middle. We have been known to drive down to arcade and pinball shows and come home with pinball machines. The difficulty now, though, if we do that, is that when we bought Big Lebowski, we did buy it ourselves, but with the idea that it was obviously coming into the arcade. We paid for it ourselves, though. But as soon as we said that pinball machine was going into the arcade and it was going into a business, even though we bought it personally, that was the end. And we had to import it into Canada. And we have the business license and everything, or business number, or whatever it is now, importation number, so we could do that. But it wouldn't be bad to go down. Oh, I was trying to get the one. Oh, he did it! Yay! So much fun. It's getting late. I'm still trying to catch up on 2 months of sleep. I'm not sure what 7 score is on the game.
Take it away from you and stick it up your ass.
Should I put the mic over on the machine there and oddly quiet, and then we'll just watch them play pinball? Everybody vote in the chat. Should we just watch 7 play pinball and put the mic over there and we can listen to them chatting? And I'll be quiet. Oh, where's 7's phone? We can do camera safari. Oh, that was epic. Oh, he got into Let's Go Bowling. Okay. Oh, didn't quite get them all. Oh. Challenge failed. Too bad. Chris is doing really well on this. We haven't. Corey asks, do you guys follow any other pinball live streams? We have followed some guys on Twitch before, and we did primarily stream on Twitch before, and so we watched some other streamers, but I can't say that we've watched anyone recently, and I don't know too many other folks that do pinball folks that I can name that do streaming. Feel free to hit us up and share the names of some other folks that we could check out. One thing that we like doing that's a little different is just chatting at the arcade, and we have done streams where we've set up the cameras to play. We've got we've got 2 extra phones now because we upgraded our phones, so we're thinking of setting those up so that we can do getting the armature set up so that we can live stream ourselves playing, because we did that before, but that's not the only thing that we wanted to live stream. We want to do other stuff, mostly competitions. Haven't watched too many competitions. Sometimes we'll watch other people that are playing or trying out a new game, but we like to, have live streams about nothing. From the pinball arcade, we can kind of see people playing. It's usually what we have in the background. We've done some on holidays or other times where it's been a little slow, where we just live stream ourselves playing. Like we did one with Genesis, and we did one with Hot Wheels. We might have done one with roller games. But we find it's fun just having folks in the background, or being able to see folks playing in the background. And with the Big Lebowski here, it's a really great shot now. Yeah. So long answer is no. I mean, short answer is no. Long answer is the rambly thing that I just said to you. But we're not against watching them or anything like that. I'd be more interested to watch live streams if someone was playing a newer game that we haven't seen played before, or we haven't played before, like you were saying, Galactic Tank Force, or something else from one of the Chicago gaming companies. Find whatever our next game is going to be, because we got Hot Wheels not long after we opened, and then we got Legends of Valhalla, and then or after Hot Wheels we put our down payment for the Big Lebowski, and then about 6 months after that we got Legends of Valhalla, and then we waited for Big Lebowski to come in. So we've gotten more new machines than just one a year, but I think the next one, we're not sure what our next big one is going to be, but it would be nice to get a new one. But like we said before, it would be interesting to get a Wizard of Oz. That's what we're kind of thinking of as a potential one, because it's so popular. 7 is currently, he is. He's currently winning ball 2. I should grab his phone and then we can just watch him up close play. Nyla's Showdown is one of my favorite modes. Oh my goodness. bad. Sorry, I'm getting all caught up in 7 playing. When his ball is over, maybe we'll end this. Oh, there it is.
You had the tilt warning.
Did you really? 7. 7 got a tilt warning. Hey, 7. 7. 7. 7. I don't know that I can continue talking. Is it okay if we end the live stream?
Yes,
or,
we'll end the live stream.
or you could just take your little mic over there and then just have it be you guys playing and make this disappear.
No, we'll just
Okay.
Yeah.
So to back up, Corey Duguay came on, or Doug, what is it? Doogie Howser? Doogie's? Ever considered Chicago Gaming Co. And I looked it up, the remakes, and I said we did talk about, I think, Attack from Mars and we know Medieval Madness.
Yeah,
but
both of those I would like to have.
Pulp Fiction was the newest one that came out, and I was saying that
didn't do a whole lot for me.
well, we have to. We say that we gotta play it first to see if we like it. And then it was asking about any other live streams, and I gave a really long rambling answer that was essentially we don't watch too many of them. No,
No, I don't.
but we're not opposed to them. We like watching ones with new games. And with that, he's caught up on all of the chat. And I did give some eyebrows at Lauren saying if he wants something to do in his retirement, you know, if you're interested in learning about machines.
Oh, no, not sure. All right, so I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Well,
Thanks for joining us, friends.
we're gonna head out, and next Saturday, probably.
Maybe. We'll see.
We're trying to do them every Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
But we also are both trying to take time off, which we haven't done for the last 2 Saturdays because we've both been in here. So it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna stop streaming, and we'll see you later. Thanks for coming on.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And you will not.